Guys, welcome. This is a video that I was thinking about doing, and I thought I'll do it now. This is going to be a video we're going to be talking about the running, the League Two running. So much so, I've compiled all the fixtures of the bottom four teams. Who's got the best running? Who's got the worst running? And where the position of the teams that all four sides are playing are positioned as of now. Obviously, it could change by the time that team plays the other team, but as of where they are right now, this is the state of play. And I've done all four because obviously Warren at Grimsby Town are in the bottom four, so they're in the relegation fight. I did listen to a podcast from last week about the Mariners. Great podcast, by the way. Thoughts from the Finders. Fantastic podcast. Do look them up. They're a fantastic bunch of lads that do that podcast. And I want to run you down the fixtures that are left. Sutton have got 7 games remaining. Forest Green have got 8. Colchester have got 10. And we've got 8 games remaining. Sorry, 9. We've got 9 games remaining. And I'm going to run you through each running and where the team are positioned and what I think will happen. We'll start with the team that are bottom, and that is Sutton United. They, at the weekend, host Accrington Stanley. They then go to Salford, host Swindon, host Stockport, travel to Harrogate, host Crawley, and go to MK Dons to finish. Forest Green, their running is away at Doncaster, home to Stockport, away to Crewe, home to MK Dons, away to Mansfield, away to Wrexham, away to Morecambe, and at home to Notts County. Yikes. You look at Colchester's last 10. Away on TV on Saturday to Mansfield in the lunchtime kickoff in League Two. They then host Newport. They go to Tranmere. They host Wrexham. They host Stockport. They go to Crawley. They host us. They host Grimsby. They go to Notts County. Notts County is their last away game of the season because then they host Doncaster and host Crewe. That is Colchester's running. A difficult running as well. Now look at Grimsby Town's running. On Saturday we host Wrexham. We then go to Barrow on Good Friday. We host Bradford, then Newport, and then go to Harrogate in the rearranged game with Harrogate. We then travel to Crewe, which is David Artell's former club. Can he do the double? Let's hope so. We then go to the rearranged game with Colchester. We host Swindon, and we finish travelling to Crawley. If you look at these 4 runnings, it looks fairly basic, doesn't it? Forest Green have got probably the most awful running you could ask to have for a team at the bottom. I mean, if we look at the league positions of the teams that they're playing, 18th, 2nd, 5th, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 12th, 13th. as it is at the minute. So they have got all the top 5 in their last 8 to play. You literally couldn't get a tougher running if you tried. Really, you can't get a tougher running than that. That is the toughest running of any of the bottom 4. But I have a theory on how that could be the best running. And I'll tell you that a little bit later on. If we look at Sutton's, Accrington are 16th, Salford are 20th, Swindon are 19th, Stockport 2nd, Harrogate 14th, Crawley 9th, MK Dons 4th. That, to be honest, is not the most terrible running. It looks it because Sutton are, at the bottom, but that is not the worst running. Where they could get out of this, believe it or not, with the running they've got there. Whereas you look at Colchester's, the league positions of the teams: 1st, 11th, 15th, 3rd, 2nd, 9th, 21st, 13th, 18th and 5th. Difficult running, but some winnable games in there for Colchester. And obviously with the amount of postponements, a majority of their games are actually at home in the last 10. I think they've got 6 home games out of their last 10. And Mariners, we are against 3rd place Wrexham, 6th place Barrow, 17th Bradford, 11th Newport, 14th Harrogate, 5th place Crewe, Colchester 22nd, Swindon 19th, Crawley 9th. The only advantage for Grimsby is it's in their hands with having the gap. With having the 6-point gap, what I don't want Grimsby to do is get complacent. Because actually, if I was to now look at those run-ins individually, I fancy Sutton. Because if you look at the actual run-in that Sutton have got, Sutton on paper have got the best running out of the lot of us. The worst running is Forest Green, and us and Colchester here near or there, really. The only thing that helps Colchester is they're going to be at home more time than they're going to be away, and that could help them as a decent running, not the worst running. But I said a couple of minutes ago that Forest Green have got the worst running. Here's the reason why I think they could have the best running. Now hear me out with this. They've got a running that I call a no-lose running, really, with the running that Forest Green have got, especially the middle part. Would I rather have Forest Green's running or ours? The truth is, and people might call me crazy for this, I would rather have Forest Green's running. Because they can't lose, really. We've got some games that you would expect us to either pick points up in or win. You look at Forest Green's, where, apart from maybe Donny on Saturday, where do you realistically, on paper, and it's not played on paper, but where on paper do you realistically, would you see Forest Green getting anything more than maybe 4 points, which won't be enough to save them? They might get the 3 points against Doncaster and might get a point at either Notts County or Morecambe. you look at the other ones, you know, second, fifth, fourth, first, and third. Where in the world are they going to get the points from? But if I was a Forest Green supporter, I'd look at that running and go, do you know what? We can't lose it. Because no one's going to expect Forest Green to get much out of those 8 games. Absolutely nothing. So Forest Green could actually go into this running under no pressure at all with the running they've got. I think Sutton's running is probably the nicest running out of anybody's. And that's why I say Sutton still have a real good chance of getting out of this. Even though they're bottom, 3 points from safety, they still have a very good chance of getting out of this because they have got, I would say realistically, 4 realistic chances of wins, and that's Accrington Stanley, Salford, Swindon and Harrogate. They are on paper the most winnable games they've got, and 12 points would put them on 42. So that might be enough, that might not be enough, but it might be enough depending on what the other teams do. So looking at Sutton's, on paper Sutton have the easier running. I know they've got MK Dons at the bottom, at the end, the final game of the season, and obviously they've got Crawley who are in top 10 at the minute. They may not be top 10 when they play them, but as it stands at the moment, so you've got 2 of the top 10 sides, 3 of the top 10 sides, second and fourth as well, to put more context in there, in your last 7. But they probably won't need 7 wins out of 7. If they can get anything against Stockport or anything against the MK Dons, or even a point at Crawley, against Crawley, you know, and Stockport going for automatic promotion, they're more likely going to want something when they go to Sutton. So I look at Sutton and think, everyone's thinking they're dead and buried. I look at the fixture list. No, they're not. I think ourselves and Colchester have to be wary of Sutton, because I think everyone's dismissed them. Looking at that fixture list, I wouldn't. We look at Colchester's fixtures, and I've mentioned already about being at home so much. They've got winnable fixtures as well. So there's pressure on these, like Doncaster, like Tranmere, like Newport, and like us. They're going to look at those and go, they're the games that we'll pinpoint. Because if they get anything at Mansfield on Saturday, that's a plus. If they get anything against Stockport, that's a plus. If they get anything probably at Notts, that's a plus. Even though Notts aren't in the form that they were, even though they just beat Bradford last weekend, they're not the team they were at the start of the season. So they have got some winnable fixtures, Colchester. And again, this is what us at Grimsby have got to be aware of. They've got winnable fixtures, so there's pressure actually on Colchester, because there is games they could win. Same with us. I think the team with the least pressure are Forest Green, because they have a fixture list where if they get 4 points, 5 points maybe, if they get more, I'll be fair to them, if they get more than 6 points out of them last 8 games, they'd have done really, really well. So I think Forest Green have got the best / the worst. The worst for league positioning, best because there's no pressure on them. Every other team in the relegation battle have winnable matches. Us, we've got Bradford, we've got Newport, we've got Harrogate, we've got Colchester. And we've got Swindon. They're all winnable games that Town could easily take 3 points in. And like I said, and Harrogate. So we've got... My overall thought on it is Forest Green's got nothing to lose. Sutton have probably got, in one sense, the easiest running. Probably the hardest running because they've got games they could win. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. Colchester, with the home run they've got of games, the 6 games at home they've got, you never ever know. And us, we're under more pressure than I think our fans are saying. I was listening to the guys on the View from the Finders podcast going, it doesn't matter if we lose to Wrexham. You know, because Forest Green probably aren't going to pick up the points. Sutton probably aren't. Colchester aren't. That is complacent. I'll say that. Because that is complacent. Because if Colchester, that's for argument's sake, if Colchester were to get anything at Mansfield, Forest Green were to win at Doncaster, and Sutton were to win at home against Accrington Stanley, and then we lose to Barrow, you have to look at this and go, my fans might be saying, yeah, but it's not, it's not realistic. The thing is, you don't want to get to chance. The best fixtures fall for Forest Green and Sutton at the weekend. The worst fixtures are us and Colchester. Next weekend it's Barrow for us, Stockport for Forest Green. The best 2 fixtures next weekend or Good Friday I should say, are Sutton and Colchester. They've got the best 2 fixtures. Forest Green and ourselves have got the worst 2 fixtures. So even though we are 6 points clear at Grimsby Town, we're nowhere near safe yet. Because you've also got that saying of a result that you don't expect. So if Forest Green went and won at home to Stockport, and then there we are playing Barrow, for argument's sake, or, you got Sutton at Salford and we don't beat Barrow, everyone gets nervous again. So I think anybody of these bottom 4 can still get relegated, even though it is in Grimsby's hands as to whether they stay up or not. We need to get something out of our next 2 games. Sutton will still feel like, with that running they've got, they'll still feel like they can get enough points. They'll still feel like that. And why wouldn't they? I think the toughest running is Sutton's. The easiest running, in one sense, is Forest Green's. Turn it the other way, you'd say Forest Green's got the most torrid running, and Sutton have probably got the easiest running. In 4 of the last 7, they've got teams that they could get points out of. But Sutton are in the sort of situation where they'll be frustrated if they don't get a couple of wins. Whereas Forest Green are in the position of, do you really expect them to pick anything up at the last 8? Maybe 4 points. Which, like I said, won't be enough to keep them up. 4 points will not keep Forest Green up. Because all you need is Colchester to pick up a result you don't expect them to. And then, so what you can't afford to do, and what Grimsby can't afford to do, or Colchester can't afford to do, don't think you're safe until you are safe. Nobody in that bottom 4 is safe yet. Yes, it's in Grimsby's hands, but Sutton could very simply get themselves out of trouble. On paper, probably not, but they could get themselves out of trouble big time. I think, looking at these runnings, I'm going to say that Colchester and Forest Green drop. I think Sutton will just stay up. Because there's realistic 12 points there for Sutton. So I'm saying it'll be Town just stay up. I don't think we'll stay 6 points clear unless we win the next. Because if we lose the next 2, I then think we've got to win the following 2. I think we've got to get on to 45 points. I think we need another 5 points, 7 points to be certain. To be absolutely certain that we're going to be in League 2 next season. So, my choice for the drop are Forest Green and Colchester, but I think everybody's got to be alert and we've got to be aware of Forest Green. I'm now going to call upon any Forest Green supporters, any Sutton supporters, any Colchester supporters. I'm saying Colchester and Forest Green to drop due to their run-ins, but like I said, for any Colchester fan or Forest Green supporter where they have got some real hope is Forest Green have got fixture list full of people and teams that they shouldn't get anywhere near. So they've got a no-lose fixture list. As in, if they lose those games and they go down, look at the fixture list they got. Expected. Colchester, what gives them a little bit of hope, if they can get the pitch to be playable, that is. I think any more postponements, something may have to be done to Colchester, to be honest. But they have got 6 of their last 10 are at Colchester. When out of it, as well, Grimsby aren't out of it for one reason. They've got to go to Colchester. So, when people are talking about it doesn't matter whether we lose to Wrexham at the weekend, yes it does. Because it would be such a way, wouldn't it? Colchester gets something at Mansfield. Forest Green win at Donny. Sutton gets something at home to Accrington. All tightens up even further. Then our fans will be bracing themselves. going, now we need to get something at Barrow. So it's going to be an interesting run-in for all four of these teams, and whether, you know, you look at a fixture list of your team and you go, Forest Green's got no chance. They've got no pressure on their running. The other three have got pressure on their running because they've all got games that they could get points from. Forest Green, bar Saturday, that's their last on paper winnable match that Forest Green have got. After Saturday, Forest Green are in the no pressure zone with the fixtures they've got. The rest of us that are in it, Colchester, Grimsby and Sutton, we are. Because we've all got games we could pick points up in. I think Grimsby need 3 to be certain, or that basically they need 7 points, I think, to be certain. Colchester need the pitch to be alright, for one, that's their main thing. They probably need about 9 points, so they need, well, they might need 10 points actually to be safe, Colchester. Sutton maybe need 13, but 12 might be enough. And like I said, they've got fixtures where they could. So any Sutton, Forest Green, Colchester or Mariners fans, let me know. The question for you is, which of those 4 teams are going to drop? How many points from those run-ins are each team going to get? Do you think? So it's who do you think will drop and how many points from the run-ins are they going to get? I'll just run you through one final time the fixtures from bottom to 4th bottom. Sutton play Accrington Stanley, Salford, Swindon, Stockport, Harrogate, Crawley, MK Dons. Forest Green play Doncaster, Stockport, Crewe, MK Dons, Mansfield, Wrexham, Morecambe, Notts County. Colchester play Mansfield, Newport, Tranmere, Wrexham, Stockport, Crawley, Grimsby, Notts County, Doncaster, Crewe. Grimsby play Wrexham, Barrow, Bradford, Newport, Harrogate, Crewe, Colchester, Swindon and Crawley. To me, 3 teams out the 4 have the pressure. 1 doesn't. Let me know down below what you guys think of this, and who you think will stay up, or how many more points you think your team may need to stay up. It'll be an interesting debate, so please do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this will be an interesting debate, this one. Who's got the best running? Who's got the worst running? Who is least likely and who is most likely to pick up the most points? Let me know down below. I'll see you soon with another video very soon. I'll say it again, very soon. So it'll be an interesting one. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button. That'll let you know when I upload some new content. And in the meantime, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, guys. See you soon. Tough runnings ahead. It's not over with yet.